Hello, welcome this morning. That's so cute. Look at that, that's so cool. I like the gold. So many things that we can look at. I have been experimenting a little bit with silver, and while it doesn't have the same effect as gold, I still like the results. They look quite pretty. Hi. Thank you. I haven't painted in about 2 weeks, so definitely need to warm up. So we'll see how this first one goes when you don't paint for a long time. Who knows what will happen. So because I hadn't painted for so long, I've got to get my hand back in the groove. Hi, if you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. I love to know where everyone is watching from, what kind of art they like to make. So you can probably tell from the colours. It's a rainy day here today. I will try and paint one of the miniatures, and I experimented with this the other day that has no like defined borders. Normally I am very clear with my borders like that, but I really like that, so I want to try and see what it's like. And because it's a rainy day, we will have rainy colours. If you have questions about my process or anything like that, feel free to ask. I experimented with painting clouds the other day. Long way to go, but it's fun trying, getting those textures in. You can see here that I'm trying really hard to stay within those boundaries that I created for myself. It's kind of cool. So I'm using a combination of Payne's Grey and Indigo to get the rainy day vibes. This is a dagger brush. It's actually supposed to be a travel brush, but because this was a second, I, I think they accidentally glued the handle on the end, and so I can't undo it. So this is just for my studio. But if you're wondering, like, this is an amazing brush too. You get such a fine point, but really large washes, and it just holds water so beautifully. It's by Rosemary & Co. Highly, highly recommend it. There's a link for it in the description below if you want to check it out. Postage to Australia is actually quite a lot, so I make sure I order a couple of things to make the postage worth it. But it's almost the only brush I use now. Always have 3 glasses of water, one to rinse, a secondary rinse if I need it, and then clean water to pick up. There's another brush in the little toolkit, this one here. It's called an eradicator. I think it's just very short bristles that are synthetic. With a bit of moisture and the right paper, you can really scrub and basically fix any mistakes you think you made. It's great. It's lacking something. There's something not quite right about it. I'm not quite sure yet what it is. It might be just the gold that I'm used to seeing now. This gold is handmade, and it's quite nice because it's got very thick gold particles, and I think that's what it adds to the shine of this particular gold paint. Love the sparkle. Cute. Whoopsie. Green landscape now. Green, green. Considering I haven't been able to paint for a couple of weeks, which is unlike me, I normally paint every day, I'm quite happy with today's session. It seems to be coming together quite well. And I think that might have a lot to do with being quite relaxed today. It's a overcast, rainy day, and I don't have a lot on that I need to do. So you can see the mountain on this side is quite big, but it looks okay because it's balanced by the larger headland here. And that works pretty well. hard to see. But there's a problem. I haven't attached the paper to the board well enough, and because of the water, there's a bubble in the paper. It's so annoying. We'll see whether or not it's obvious once it dries, and I might even try and attach the paper again. I'm not quite sure how to do that. It's happened with a couple of my paintings, and I can tell straight away if it's worked or not. The paintings, even though they're quite small, they often take longer than you think. And the reason for that is like the drying time and the composition. Like I'm trying to make those decisions all at the same time. So I'm not 100% sure how I'll flatten that bubble out. I have thought of like injecting underneath the paper because the edges are absolutely fine. Some acid-free glue, and then weighting it down to reattach it to the board. I actually quite like that little composition, like with that gold. I think it's quite nice. Yeah, maybe if we turn it on its side, can you see just slightly down there? It's a bit hard to see, the focus is a bit off. Yeah. But otherwise I quite like that little scene. It's a shame. It's a big shame. You can almost see too where I mixed yellow, this yellow here, into the composition a little, and you can see how the colour is separated, but I quite like that because it looks like a ridge line. That's pretty cool. I'll just see how it goes with reattaching the paper to the board. It's interesting because these have turned out to be almost similar but such different colours, and it's because I've mixed the different greens at different times. This one, I might fix up this moon in this one actually. All of my paintings are sealed with a spray varnish that is UV protectant. So I can have these sitting on my desk and I can always retouch them as long as I haven't put that seal, that spray varnish on. Yeah, it's like a moon rising. And you're probably thinking, what am I doing? I felt like it was too big, so I'm going to try and delete it and then do it again. I have to be careful because I've already taken the tape off of this, so I want to blend it back into the sky. I'm trying very hard to do it carefully, not mess up the original composition. I'll completely remove that gold from the page now. The nature of this gold, it's handmade, so it's different to normal watercolour in that I can't completely delete the pigment. So you'll see, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, there's like a slight gold sheen over all of the sky. That's fine for now. I'll let that dry, what I've just done to it. And I'll make sure I'll even it out a little bit, just so I don't get any water lines or watermarks on the composition. And then once that's dry, I'll go back in and I'll put the moon back in, but it'll be a lot smaller because I didn't like the size of the one I did just before. So if you are based in Sydney, in 2 weeks' time, I will be at the Finders Keepers Market in Sydney. So if you don't have anything to do on the first weekend of May, come and check out the Finders Keepers Market at Carriage Works. And there I'll be having some live painting sessions, but I'll have a lot of these miniatures available as well. Interesting. You can see here, it's an imperfection in the paper. So the colour doesn't go on smoothly. It's like a little dot. So what I could do is I could try and, you come across these things in watercolour paper occasionally. And at some point it does kind of dictate the composition, because you have to either incorporate it into the design or so I'm just trying to get quite a light wash on the back. And with this particular design, I really like how I've got that flow. And it kind of looks like a fire. I really want to try and get that, like, look at these details. It's probably difficult to see, but look at those details in how the colour is separated. That's quite beautiful. And I'd love to mimic that with the green. So you can see I picked up 2 different parts of the paint that I've mixed here. This one's quite a darker version, which renders quite differently on the page. There's a common idea about watercolour that it can't be erased, but it does depend on the colour that you're using or the pigment type, and also the paper. So you can see here I've managed to lift off a lot of the colour. Now I know that little imperfection in the paper can be covered up quite easily, and the darker the colour, the easier it is to cover. Just like black paint is great for covering over, you know, different things. It's kind of a similar principle. You can see that little imperfection in the paper has almost disappeared, and that's because of the darkness. But you can also see that because of the moisture, there's like a grass-like texture to that little headland at the front, and I'm just accentuating that with the fineness of the brush. Sometimes when I don't judge the moisture of the paper and the amount of water in my brush, sometimes the way the pigment falls on the paper doesn't go to plan. But that actually turned out okay. This is quite a beautiful little composition. Tiny bit of colour there that went over the tape. So with my eradicator brush, I'll just take it off. Best watercolour tool is a rock. Use it to flatten the edges. This one, so I'm going to put the moon back on it, so that should be dry now. I won't make it as big this time. That's perfect. Very cute. I really like them. And they're so cute. They're so little. You can just pop them. Have a couple of these scattered around the house. So today ended up being a little bit of a green day. This was my first one. It's not my favourite, but I don't hate it either. I like how that feels a little bit like snow. Thanks everyone. It's been a nice Sunday morning. Bye.